It's March 25th, 2024. The stage is set, the lights are lit.
It's the gallery, live from Centennial College's Story Arts Center. The latest in entertainment, news, sports, and more. I'm Kieran.
And I'm Ksenia. Welcome to the gallery. Welcome to the gallery. Today we have 4 amazing documentaries about some amazing people and subjects. Later we'll have musical performances from Natalia Milana and then a fun band. This is one show you don't want to miss.
Wait, this is one of those unmissable shows? Ksenia, you should have told me before. I have a hard out about halfway through.
You have a hard out? Karen, what the heck are you doing halfway through the show?
They got a sale at the pizza place down the street. I'm gonna get 2 slices for $5. Ksenia, you didn't know this? That is real news.
Well, let's see if the pizza sale made it onto today's headlines. Over at the news corner with Sis Busy.
Hello and welcome to the News on the Hour. My name is Sisbisi Adebisi. First, the headlines. Brian Mulroney, Canada's 18th Prime Minister, laid to rest. And now the news in full. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau described the passing of former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney as a great loss to all Canadians. At the state funeral service Saturday at Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica, Justin Trudeau described the former Prime Minister as a very dedicated and committed citizen to his country. As the 18th Prime Minister, Mulroney was instrumental in negotiating the bilateral free trade agreement between Canada, the US, and Mexico. He also made a tremendous effort to bring French and English Canada together. And now to provincial news. The government of Ontario has announced the province will be investing close to $2 billion into housing projects. This action is to support efforts to build a minimum of 1.5 million homes by 2031. Premier Ford also emphasized the housing compensation scheme meant for the municipalities that meet up with their percentages last year. Doug Ford also announced that close to $18 million will be given to Hamilton municipalities for hitting its 2023 housing target. Earlier, the city of Toronto was also rewarded with $140 million for meeting 51% of its 2023 target. Premier Ford then called on all other municipalities to be more aggressive in their mission to meet the housing scheme target by the end of 2021. And the city of Toronto has warned drivers to be prepared for traffic delays on the Gardiner Expressway due to the start of long-awaited construction, which will start this month and last for at least 3 years. The construction will reduce the busy road into 2 lanes on both sides from different streets to Strachan Avenue. Jody Atkins, a representative of the city, in an interview on CTV News recently said all ongoing construction will be halted during the FIFA World Cup tournament taking place in Toronto in 2026. And that's the news on the hour. Thanks for staying tuned. Up next is Sport with JD.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Gallery Sports Update, coming to you live from Centennial College. My name is JD, your favorite sports analyst. On the top of the list today are updates that concluded from the OCAA Basketball Championships for the men's and women's teams, where the Centennial Colts faced off against the St. Clair Saints and the Lambton Lions. Unfortunately, the men's lost to the Saints 110 to 95. Meanwhile, the women's also lost their game to the Lions, 70 to 25. But one interesting part about the Colts is that our leading teammates, Zane Michael, who got the all-rookie team of the Eastern Division, and DeAndre Goldborn, who also made it to the first team of the Eastern Division. And last but not least, Tavon Mars Buckley, who made it to the all-rookie team, second team, and received the East Division Rookie of the Year. Sorry to go off script for a second. Let me get that ball. I told myself this year I'd get back into playing basketball, head back to the gym, focus on my shot, work on my handles, and maybe try for the basketball team. But moving on. That was your sports update for the day from the gallery. With me, JD, your favorite sports analyst. Now passing it on to my brother with the weather report, Elston Young.
Hello there, folks. Coming up next, I got all your weather information, so stay tuned. Cut. Hello there, folks. This is Elston Young reporting for the gallery. That's right. This week we are starting off pretty sunny, leading into tonight with a few clouds as well as some cloudy showers leading into tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain on Wednesday. Nothing to be worried about though, because folks, for the rest of the week we expected to have a mix of cloud and sun. I know it's spring, but still keep them jackets on though, because that's Toronto. What can we do? That was Elston Young reporting for the gallery. Back to you.
Thinking about my future, I didn't know what to do, but Centennial College guided me. Story Arts Center gave me so much more than I expected. Being here gave me many opportunities, like being industry connected. But those connections will always lead me back to my community here. Well, that's our story. What will yours be?
Hey, thanks, Elston. Looks like today isn't going to be such a good day, huh?
That's right, Karen. It might be a good idea to stay inside, wrap yourself in a blanket, and just watch movies all afternoon.
Ksenia, I've already seen every movie.
You've been seeing every movie?
Yeah, everything from Alien to Zorro.
Karen, you have to broaden your horizons. Maybe this first feature can help you with that. The public domain consists of media that expires natural and becomes a part of the public and not owned by any corporation. This is Sidney Nickerson, Echoes of Public Domain. Roll the film.
At this point, we're used to the public domain. Any old book, song, or movie can be found on the internet for free. Copyright expiration has been a concept for centuries in America, all the way back to the late 18th century, when copyright was renewable for up to 28 years. Since then, the expiration date has only gone up and up due to new copyright laws making it easier for companies to monetize art for as long as they can. Nowadays, American copyright rests at a seismic 95 calendar years. Companies, artists, and conglomerates alike have historically seen public domain status as a threat. The most recent Copyright Term Extension Act came in 1998, an act named after Sonny Bono, a US congressman and a former famous recording artist. The act was also heavily lobbied for by the Walt Disney Company, in fear that a public domain status for a certain anthropomorphic mouse could tarnish their image. For an extra 20 years, they were free to profit off of their art. Flashback to 1968, where, in the midst of a slew of cheap horror flicks made for the back halves of drive-in double features,
after you meet the monster on the beach,
one man broke through to make something darker, grittier, more grounded than anything that had ever been seen before. Night of the Flesh Eaters, although better known under its last-minute title change, Night of the Living Dead. But this shift came with a grave error, a mistaken copyright notice made for the wrong title, putting this film firmly in the public domain immediately upon release. After its middling early reception, Night of the Living Dead would gain new appreciation through legal re-releases in theaters, on tape, and on television. It's actually been said that every horror movie made since Living Dead owes their entire DNA to its legacy, all because of some independent production company's negligence while doing some admittedly pretty important paperwork. In the new age of the internet, media corporations are working even harder to keep their property under paywall after paywall, keeping them seemingly harder to find than ever. This, in essence, is the importance of the public domain. No conglomerates can make money off another person's work the way they would be able to with a movie from the 80s or a song from the 90s. On January 1st, 2024, the 3 original Mickey Mouse shorts entered the public domain, ending a nearly 50-year battle between Walt Disney Pictures and any member of the public who wanted to use that little rat. Now, you own Mickey Mouse, just like you own Night of the Living Dead, Putting on the Ritz, The Gold Rush, Winnie the Pooh, Little Women, The Beverly Hillbillies, Mozart, Beethoven, Peter Pan, Sita Sings the Blues, Nosferatu.
That was great, but I wonder why anyone would make a short like that.
Hey, maybe Sydney was just passionate about the subject. Passion can often lead us to make great art about what we're passionate about.
Like when you were so passionate about pizza, you wrote an entire essay about pepperoni.
Ksenia, that was so long ago.
That was 5 minutes ago.
Okay, anyway. This next feature is about Ashley, who is a recent grad from TMU's animation program and hopes to not only work in animation, but also produce and animate her own works. Her next animation will be about her 2 loves, mentoring children and skateboarding. This is Suleiman Ibrahim's Uncle Ashley.
Definitely just a ton of research. That can be super challenging because art is this very subjective thing and there's no right or wrong way of doing things. It's all about like the matter of time, like how quick can you pick this up and how much consciousness do you have of this realm of illustrating your ideas, right? And I've tried photography. I've graduated from photography. Like I did 4 years of that. I've done so I made like product shots of food and so I have the eye of compositing stuff. But I didn't really think like I'm a photographer. I feel like it's kind of boring for me. I'd rather get into like storytelling, but I don't see myself as like a filmer, like someone who makes movies. Although I do like that, but I like something that's more like snappy, quick.
I completely missed that one. Hey! That last one was sick! Bro, that whole video was sick though. Hey, how do you feel about that one? It's alright. Let's look at her design on her board. Oh yeah. Look, jeez. I don't know who this is, but like... That's your art, right? That's my art, yeah. That's your art. Let us be, Yeah. Starting from the ground. One more?
I haven't finalized the name, but the name, if someone were to tell me like as you are, it is called Uncle Ashley. it's odd, like why not Auntie Ashley? So Uncle Ashley is like this thing that I used to work with kids, like I used to teach kids how to skateboard, and just, I don't know, it just popped in my head because it just popped in my head to like tell stories to kids if they don't want to skate during camp. And I would just tell them stories and I would be like, oh, it's story time with Uncle Ashley. And they'll be like, why Uncle Ashley? Shouldn't it be Auntie? And I'm like, I don't know, just Uncle sounds cool.
That's what the animation is about too?
Yeah, it's kind of like storytelling.
Oh, cool.
So it's like I was storytelling with kids at the camp, and they're kind of like horror children kind of stories. And with the animation series, like Uncle Ashley is more of me narrating like my past experiences. Yeah, instead of like horror, because that's what I did for the kids, because that's what I knew that they would like some scary stuff. But yeah, Uncle Ashley would be more like a personal thing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Natalia.
Mami, yo estoy seguro de que nos veremos. A mí me encantaría volver a probar. Yo no sé muy bien lo que los dos tenemos, pero me gustas más que salir a fumar. Mami, yo estoy seguro de que nos veremos. A mí me encantaría volver a probar. Yo no sé muy bien lo que los dos tenemos, pero me gustas más que salir a fumar. Ay, 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 esa boquita que me santifica en Jerusalén. Es una diablita que sola se quema, y yo aquí sentado escribiéndole un tema. A la izquierda hay lucecitas, lo que das de lo que quitas. Esos ojitos dinamita, viajando horas pa' verte cerquita. Sin juicios, sin nombres, sin apellidos, con los ojos, con las manos y con los sentidos. Sin rencores, sin pasado, sin tomar partido, con unas ganas de fumar que yo ya había perdido. Tampoco duele cuando ya me voy, porque ambos sabemos lo que nos depara. Sabes lo suficiente de lo que soy, como para comerme y mirarme a la cara. Uno se cree que ya no lo controlo, es un vaivén con un baile de paz. Es que a la larga vivimos tan solos, que nadie sufre si el otro se va. Ay, 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 esa boquita que me santifica en Jerusalén. Es una diablita que sola se quema, y yo aquí sentado escribiéndole un tema. Pero yo estoy seguro de que nos veremos. A mí me encantaría volver a probar. Yo no sé muy bien lo que los dos tenemos, pero me gustas más que salir a fumar. Más que salir a fumar, mucho más que salir a fumar. Thank you guys.
As a kid, this beat was always stuck in my head. I would practice it anywhere I could, whenever I could. I was able to bring the beat to life. found my music.
Wow, that was great, wasn't it? Anyway, welcome back to the gallery.
Karen, did you get your pizza?
No, they ran out. When I went to the store, they said, we'll make you more, so I'm gonna go back and get some more later.
Oh. Okay. Really? That's a... Oh, because Rohan just got me a whole boxes from that place.
Yo, can I have a slice?
Karen, if I come home and my mom notices that I'm missing slice, you know what's gonna happen. I'm giving her name, your name, address, that what's happening.
Fine. But like, I'm actually starving now. Ksenia, I think I might pass out. You think we can talk about something other than food?
No, our next feature is about Chinese food. Ever wondered why it changed so much after localization and what's happening to Chinese food in the past? This is Lingxi. Man, Chinese food versus localization.
Let me ask a question. If you live in a different country, how would you celebrate the New Year? The answer for me, I believe, is food. Today was a really special day because today actually is the Chinese New Year. So I'm gonna go to the Chinatown to find a really traditional Chinese restaurant for my lunch. Maybe you thought, around here you have other Chinese restaurant. Why should I go to the Chinatown to find a special, like traditional Chinese restaurant? There was a really simple reason: localization. Don't get me wrong, localization is not a bad stuff. Let me use the most simple way to explain what is the localization. It was like to give you guys a Chinese food, but it was a customized version for you guys. But for me, those food is just like you buy a movie ticket to take a nap. When the Chinese New Year was coming, the Chinatown also have a lot of people. Luckily, the one I chose doesn't have that much long line. For the other people's privacy, the restaurant doesn't allow me to shoot at the restaurant, so I only take the few simple picture for the food. For the first meal at the New Year, I chose the Baiqiezi. It was a really classic and traditional Chinese restaurant. It tasted saucy and juicy. The most important part is its sauce. We call it Congjiangrong. If you like green onion and ginger taste, you really should try this. After I finish my meal, I understand this restaurant is a really traditional Chinese restaurant, but at the same time, at the restaurant, I found it. The General Trace Chicken. It is the most popular Chinese food in Canada. At the same time, it was the most horrible food for the Chinese. Well, a lot of Chinese people really think that way, but the truth is, I think it tastes like sweet fried chicken. That's all. I don't think it was delicious, but I don't think it was really bad. The reason you can find a lot of Chinese people really hate this dish, I think is because before the localization, it's supposed to be taste spicy. But this caused a problem. Why after localization, the Chinese food have so much change? If we want to solve this question, we need to go back to the 1860s. During the gold rush, Americans asked a huge amount tax from the fortunate miners. Many Chinese people who lost their job and they decide to open a Chinese restaurant. At that time, most Americans, they don't even want to try it. So the Chinese people localize the Chinese food, and then Chinese people create the capsule and the fried noodle. Because of those foods, American people start to accept the Chinese food. Not because the taste, it's because those Chinese restaurants use the low price and the large bill to get those customers. After that, the economy become better, Instead those old Chinese food, people prefer spend more money to buy the fast food. Because of it, a lot of familiar Chinese food for you guys have been created. That is the American style Chinese food story. But the time have changed. And you can see many people in Chinatown that are looking for the traditional Chinese restaurant as well. Today's localization is no longer a helpless choice in the past. If you have a chance, you can try and see the difference between the before and the after the localization, just like me.
Now that was a great documentary, very informative.
What do you mean? You fell asleep. I just had to wake you up.
What did you expect, Kieran? I was up all night doing homework. I live a very unbalanced life.
Ksenia, we're all doing many things in our lives, and creating balance is one of the many things we struggle to achieve. Razak El Toro has found a way to balance his passions, and this documentary takes a look at how. Here's Adiri Obor's A Balance is Key.
I've always enjoyed coffee since I was super young, but I would say it actually became my thing first time I saw a barista properly handcraft coffee. I make my coffee in two ways. Usually the first thing would be with the espresso, and I like that. It's easy, the coffee is kind of like concentrated. It's like a subtle pinch that you're alive. Then I would say in the afternoon or midday, my second cup would be with a pour over. I like that because it's a little bit more meditative, it's slower. It's kind of like that cup of coffee you make to enjoy and just sip slow. The pour over method is my favorite because it's a bit meditative. It usually takes about 3 minutes to make. I like it's just like a slower process. The way the coffee comes out, it comes out more to enjoy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're brewing yourself like a nice cup of wine from scratch in a sense. I usually have that at like noon or so. And since you can't have wine at noon, but it's frowned upon socially, I guess the coffee will do. And I do enjoy the process of it, like weighing the coffee and all that fun stuff. Right now, I do a lot of consulting in the coffee space. So basically, just basically anything that has to do with coffee within like a cafe, business, community. That's I'm just so like kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the coffee space, I would say. I would like to think of myself. But just general consulting. Also have Cafeteca, which is a concept that explores dynamic interactions around coffee and music. Just basically trying to infuse my passions into one thing and just streamline my life. I wake up every day and it's usually coffee or music related tasks that need to be done. So I decided to create one umbrella for everything. That way I'm not doing two things, I'm technically doing one thing.
Run the trap, man! Pull up in my Pijo. Let's get together, catch your G-Joe. I'ma get low-fi Fuji. Check out the low-fi Fuji.
You're not gonna see a movie when you know how it ends. You know, you're not gonna go see a comedian when you know all their jokes. So why go to the club when you know all the songs? That idea of sort of like educating people on the dance floor and exposing them to new sounds is 100% my favorite thing about DJing. Balance is key, you have to basically figure out the best way, and this is, I feel like most people, that's kind of like what they're searching for in life. There's that constant search of finding out what you're good at in life, what you like to do, what you have to do, and just basically everything else around that. You have to basically just draw that pie chart and figure out where you have to prioritize and balance.
Wow, that was amazing. Our last segment has our crew traveling to the Evergreen Brickworks. It's a spot in Toronto that holds an amazing organic farmers market every weekend. Let's take a look at a walk together.
host, Grace. Welcome to our walk together. Today we'll be exploring some historical landmarks around our beloved city, Toronto. See, the proper way to say it, the second T is silent. Today we're here at Toronto Union Station, and I'm going to tell you some cool fun facts about it. The current structure that we use today was first built in 1914 during World War I. However, it was put off for years because of a material delay. So the building was later finished in 1927. Since its opening, it has welcomed waves of immigrants into our beloved city, Toronto. See how I said it right again? Union Station is not only loved by its many citizens, it's actually very popular outside of Toronto. It's used in many films. In fact, over 28 blockbuster hits have been filmed here, ranging from Grey Gardens, The Suicide Squad, X-Men, and more. Another cool fact about Union Station is I still refuse to pay my fee. I'm not tapping. That's not happening. I'm too broke. Anyway, our next station is Gooderham Building. Let's hope I'm saying it right. Let's go. Building, otherwise known as the Flatiron. It was first built in this neighborhood in 1891, over 130 years ago. An interesting fact about this building is that William Gooderham, father of George Gooderham, invented the Gooderham and Worts Distillery, also known as the Distillery District, where we're headed to next. So one of the things that makes the Distillery District so unique is its historical time period it's been able to hold. See, the Distillery District has restored many of its industrial Victorian buildings, and what also makes it so unique is the brick-lined pavement. Also, much like Union Station, they've filmed multiple films here, like X-Men and Chicago. The distillery is also home to the Christmas market, which is hosted every winter annually, where it gathers people from around the world to get into the Christmas spirit. Well, that's it for this walk. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you had as much fun as we did. Thank you.
bricks that built the city of Toronto. This beautiful, luscious greenfield space held bricks that have been used to build landmark buildings in Toronto. This abandoned brick factory is 130 years old. Formerly called the Don Valley Brickworks, it was founded in 1889 after William Taylor and his brother discovered clay underground after digging for fence posts. It has since been refurbished by Evergreen, which it is currently named after and is a non-profit organization. Let's take a look around. It is Toronto's largest farmers market and it is held all year round on Saturdays. The farmers market started in 2007. At the time, it supported 25 local farmers and producers. As of today, it supports over 60 local farmers and producers. Talk about growth. It is usually held in this beautiful open door space during the summers. In the winter time though, it moves indoors. What can you find here? Sweet, tasty food. Now, like I said, it's usually on Saturdays, but today's a Sunday and there's nobody here. But we're gonna look around a little bit, okay? Let's go. Another market here is the Evergreen Garden Market. Now, the market is a combination of a gift store and a garden center. It's winter, so the garden center is closed, but it is stocked with amazing stuff for both new and experienced gardeners, from plants to soil to whatever you might want. Now, the gift store is fully stocked with goods from select local artisans and craftspeople. What kind of goods can we find in there? Let's go take a look. Doop, 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 doop. On this wall, we have so many beautiful products, including bath bombs, body lotion, candles, some wax figures, all by a beautiful artist named Lei Amanakwa. Now, according to this description, she also goes by the name The Wounded Healer. She is from both Serpent River First Nation and Toronto. She is Anishinaabe Ojibwe and British/Welsh settler. Now let's take a look at some of her really beautiful products.
That's all we have for today on the gallery.
And make sure to follow Centennial College and the Story Art Center on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
And come back same time next week for the next episode of the gallery. Bye!
Bye, and finally we have a performance by the Unknown Five.
Take me back to the ground, 'cause girl, you look fine as hell. Fine as hell. I'm not easily distracted, but you acting like a magnet. You pull me in. a suit. Be tiptoeing at you if you're down for it. We got nothing else to do and nothing else to lose, and I'm down for this. If you're in the mood, we can take it to the moon, just like a movie scene, table for two. No need to be fed, I want you instead. If you're in the mood, we can tiptoe to the moon.
Hold up. Yeah, I tell my friends to pinch me hard, cause it couldn't be real.
Please gotta be real. Is this the dream I'm living? Lord help me please, cause I can't get over you. I'll be putting on a suit, be tiptoeing at you if you're down for it. We got nothing else to do and nothing else to lose, and I'm down for this.
Are you down for this?
If you're in the mood, we can take it to the moon, just like a movie scene, table for two. No need to be fed, I want you instead. If you're in the mood, we can tiptoe to the moon. If you're in the mood, we can take it to the moon.
Take it to the moon,
just like a movie scene, table for two. No need to be fed, I want you instead.
tiptoe to